You're using AI for marketing. It's fast, it never sleeps, it never asks for a raise, it never asks for a good job, which is genuinely impressive. But it also sounds exactly like your competitor's AI, which sounds like every other marketer's AI, which means the internet is a very large, very fast pile of the same marketing. You haven't gotten better at marketing, you've gotten better at producing average marketing faster because you've hired the world's fastest average marketer and you've given it your brand. See, there are 3 structural reasons this keeps happening, and not one of them is your prompt. It's not your system instructions. It's not even what you're putting into the knowledge base. These are the same 3 structural challenges that I faced over and over again. And I'm going to draw them out for you because frankly, they're easier to see than they are to say. I'm Ashton and I've spent my career as a direct response marketer. I personally directed over $100 million in ad spend on pretty much any platform that you can think of. I started, scaled, and exited my own agency that upon exit had over 200 employees, over 300 clients in niches ranging from local service-based businesses to high-end e-commerce brands, B2B, SaaS tools, and so much more. On top of that, I've trained hundreds of marketers and business owners from around the world how to generate marketing that actually delivers results instead of just looking pretty. And when AI hit, I did what you probably did. I built the custom GPTs, I built out the Claude projects, and I used platforms like Make, Zapier, or N8N to try to string it all together and studied up on things like prompt engineering to see if I could truly harness this power everyone was talking about came with AI, but I just wasn't seeing on paper. But the problem is I kept running into 3 structural walls that I could not get past. And not just like the annoying walls or I could learn to get over it, but walls that stood in the way from me generating what I wanted to in a moment, but also seeing it as a long-term, reliable, consistent solution that I could use to generate better performance from all of my marketing channels. And unfortunately, when it came to these walls, there was no amount of automation or system instruction or prompt engineering optimization that I could do to get past it. So I dove deep on exactly why these things were happening. And what I found is the reason MarketerX actually exists today. But let me sketch it out because these walls are easier to see than they are to say. So kicking off with wall number 1, I call this the knowledge base problem. So when you got started and you're probably building a project for marketing in Claude Cowork or GPT, doesn't matter, you start off with your knowledge base. And this is where you probably dump various valuable things that you think would be helpful to make that agent really smart. So you probably dumped in things like your brand guidelines. You probably did maybe like a call transcript, maybe even put in past proven winners and your research. And you put all of those things right inside of your knowledge base. We assumed that the agent was reading your stuff intelligently, that would find the right file at the right moment and use it to enhance the output that it gives you. In reality, this is just a file drawer. It's hoping that it grabs the right file, and sometimes it does, and sometimes it completely misses, and you have no control over it. Now, some platforms will actually take everything inside of your project knowledge and save it to a cache layer, which essentially just means it's trying to commit everything to a memory, which is also why these platforms will heavily limit you on what you can and cannot put into the knowledge base. And this is what led to me creating multiple different projects spread across various LLM platforms, each trying to do just one particular thing because I knew I couldn't actually upload everything I knew into one knowledge base. To me, that's not a knowledge base. That's a filing cabinet with a coin flip attached. But that's just the first wall. The second one is worse and has nothing to do with the files. It's about what the AI actually knows. Wall 2, I call the averaging problem. So even if the file drawer works correctly, even if it grabs the file perfectly, there's still a deeper problem. And this one isn't about retrieval. This issue is baked into the model itself. You see, Claude, ChatGPT, Anis, all of them, they're all trained on the aggregate of the entire internet, which is impressive until you realize what that actually means, especially in the context of marketing. You already know this about the internet, but when it comes to marketing, the overwhelming majority of the information you find about marketing online is average. Average tactics taught by average marketers with no real basis in performance data, not by people who have actually been in the trenches and produced results at very high levels. It's all average. You've got stuff that sometimes works, stuff that never actually works, and a few tactics that actually do work mixed in between. But the vast majority is average. Play it safe, seen it 1,000 times, been there, done that, average. But the real problem is that the model has no idea how to tell the difference. It doesn't know what actually worked, what didn't work. It's never actually been a direct response marketer and never actually ran those campaigns. So with no way of this model actually knowing what really works and what doesn't, what does the model do? Well, remember, it gives you the aggregate, which means by definition, it gives you the average answer that it sees online. the same answer it's seen in 10,000 different blog articles, or what the textbook says that it should be done. It's giving you the answer it's seen 10,000 times and gives you the nice, safe, in the middle, average answer. But the problem is the real mechanics, the real direct response principles or tactics that actually get you performance and outputs the way you really want, those are all found up here and are completely ignored by the model that you're using. So when Claude writes you something that sounds great, and it does, it writes beautifully, that's a trap. It sounds like marketing, but it's average marketing with a beautiful voice. It was never a direct response marketer, it's just really good at sounding like one. And no amount of uploading swipe files or research reports or avatar profiles is gonna fix that, because the model still doesn't know what good looks like for your market. It knows what common looks like, and that's wall 2. But wall 3 is where things get interesting. Now, you might wonder why I thought I could fix this problem. And here's why. Years ago, I was a part of building a heuristic for evaluating and scoring copy. And this was a way for us to predict whether or not we believed something would actually convert when it met the real world. And this was a way for us to validate our assumptions or theories before ever spending $1 on advertising behind an ad, a landing page, an email, creative, whatever. And it was very simple. It was M equals V minus C multiplied by A, which means it's marketing potential equals value minus the perceived cost in a prospect's mind multiplied by acceptability. It was invented at my agency as a part of training our internal teams, but then demand grew from the outside. People were wondering about how we were performing and generating such great results for our clients. And demand started growing so much for people asking me to train their internal teams that eventually I just told people, hey, I have this internal program. I use it to train my staff. I don't have time to coach your team or come in or consult. But if you want to try this program that I use for my internal teams, you can give it a shot and hopefully it works for you. And a few years later, over 300 different business owners, marketers, and students paid $10,000 to have access to my program and to learn this very heuristic I'm telling you about. And I've talked about this heuristic from stages, at conferences, and of course, inside of my companies with hundreds of employees. So my bet with MarketerX was simple. I've taught hundreds of students how to score copy this way. And if I could teach hundreds of humans how to score copy this way, I bet I could teach a machine how to do it too. And this scoring engine is underneath everything I'm about to show you. It closes the gap between what sounds good and what actually converts in the real world. Which brings me to wall 3, and this is the wall that actually made me realize what we were building at MarketerX. Wall 3 is what I call the learning gap. You see, every product in marketing starts this way. You write, you publish, you see the results, and you start over from scratch. The AI has no memory of what it made or why it made it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Don't these tools have memory? And you'd be right to an extent. They do. Kind of. They'll remember that you said something was working. That's real. But here's what the memory does not do. It does not remember why it wrote what it wrote. It does not know that it used a specific psychological hook, or that it wrote at a 5th grade reading level, or that it built the ad around a particular awareness state or sophistication stage. It remembers what you told it to remember, but not the anatomy of what it actually made. And it never ever connects that asset to whether or not it converted. It doesn't know that your winner beat your loser because it never actually sees the performance data. And it's this gap right here, that's the entire game. The gap that needed to close is that you should never ever have to start over. And it's this gap right here, this gap, that if you never actually close, you will never actually optimize. And instead, you'll actually just do what I call faster spaghetti. You're just going to be testing a lot and a lot more often and a lot faster, but you're never actually making improvements, compounded growth and learnings. Because a system that creates without knowing why or how it did something is not an optimization system. It is a generation system. But in today's world of marketing and AI, generation is no longer valuable. There are dozens of platforms that can create great images or videos, and new tools are coming out all the time. But until you actually leverage a system that optimizes, that doesn't start at 0 every single time, you're just going to be spinning your wheels, doing more tests, and feeling more productive without seeing the results. And without it, that loop never closes. And that is what MarketerX is built to fix. So when I built MarketerX, I didn't set out to build a faster AI. I didn't just want a tool that wrote faster or created assets faster. Everyone's doing that. I started with those 3 walls and I built around them. This is your vault, or your global knowledge base that was built for marketing. This is the fix to the file drawer problem. You start empty, and with MarketerX, you can create as many different business profiles as you need. Just come in, click Add Business Profile, put in your company name, a description of your business, label the industry, paste in your website, and click Create Profile. Now you have a brand new canvas that you can start building out your vault. But here's the thing, even with your knowledge base on other platforms, it still was up to me to know how to build the knowledge base. I needed to know how to prompt engineer research reports, create target audience maps, and fill it with everything that it actually needed to produce the best performance, but not in MarketerX. In MarketerX, you need a research report. All you got to do is hit the plus button, paste in what you want it to research about. Let's just say it's foundational research, and it's going to go and do it for you. No prompting. It already knows exactly what it needs and how to get it. And with research, you can already tell right off the bat, the platform goes to work, knows exactly what it should be looking for, and deploys the searches, filling all the requirements that it knows it needs in order to produce that foundational research report. But no matter the research report you want to do, MarketerX knows already how to do it. There's no prompting on your end outside of just saying what kind of research report you want. And once it's generated the research report, you have the ability to review, request edits, tell it to go research other topics easier. And when you're done, all you got to do is hit Save to Vault, and then you'll see it saves right here in your global knowledge base. And that intelligence is now used on every session you use within that business profile going forward. No reprompting, no rebriefing, it's always there. The same goes with your offer details. If you need an offer, go ahead and just hit the plus button. You can either manually enter in your details or import straight from Stripe, and Shopify is coming soon. Or if you don't have any of those, all you have to do is paste in a URL and say, add my knowledge base. And MarketerX will go to that website, strip all the valuable and important information it needs when it comes to an offer, and save it directly into your knowledge base. This saves so much time when it comes to setting up and building your intelligence, but again, once it's there forever. No reprompting, no need to re-clarify to the AI agent of what your offer is or what your business is or who your target audience is. And now you can see that MarketerX has gone to the website, scraped all of the valuable, important details about the product itself, and saved it into a nice, clean, and organized artifact that I can now save to my global knowledge base that will be there forever. So even when you go to build something like an avatar report and you just select the research report you want it to use, you can tell MarketerX how many you want it to generate. You can even give it guidance on the target audience if you have a particular audience in mind, or you just hit generate, and MarketerX leverages your research report, information it knows about your business, and builds out super comprehensive avatar profiles that you'll see here in a second. And what you'll find when you're creating and building out your knowledge base is that these assets are not just your typical standard average assets. These are being generated with the best in class, most advanced and proven to work strategies and frameworks leveraged by the best marketers in the world. Everything from research reports to avatar profiles, copywriting handbooks, and brand guidelines, these were all built using the best frameworks so that they feed your AI agent with what is actually working, proven to work in the field, and founded with direct response marketing principles. Here you can already see that the avatar profiles, it generated 3 different avatar profiles, each one breaking down the actual target market, a description about them, demographics, behavioral and psychological understanding of them with their core fears, core desires, their media habits, key objections, buying triggers, cognitive biases, even their disc profile and spiral dynamics maps. I gotta be honest, I've never even seen spiral dynamics used in marketing before, but when you read and understand what it actually means and how it affects a prospect's decision making, you'll wonder why everyone else in marketing has missed it. But not with MarketerX. And now, more importantly, all of these are now saved in your global knowledge base and are going to be used over and over again by the AI agent as it's generating your next email, landing page, or script. But MarketerX also takes this one step further. When you get to the testimonial side, what I've noticed in my career is that most businesses use the same testimonials over and over again. They have like 5 or 10 different testimonials that they just seem to reuse over and over again. But with MarketerX, you can either bulk upload via CSV your testimonials, import your testimonials straight from platforms like Trustpilot, or you can even upload screenshots of testimonials that you have, and MarketerX will scrape the testimonials from those images and upload them into your testimonial knowledge base. Now you can finally have an entire database of just your testimonials. So it's not the same 3 or 4 quotes that you're using over and over again. So now MarketerX will pull the right testimonial for the right piece of copy. Now you might be thinking, Ashton, I already have some documents or brand guidelines or things that I've used in my own projects that I've found really valuable, and I don't want to miss out on those. Well, in MarketerX, you can just go down to their documents folder, click the plus button here, and you can upload any type of file that you want, whether it's a old pitch deck that you use or a sales call transcript or any other types of documents that you would want in your global knowledge base. Just select the file, upload it, give it a title, and it saves into your global knowledge base to be used across all of your sessions. Or for files like brand guidelines, all you have to do is attach it to a session, say add this to my brand guidelines knowledge base, and it'll do it for you. What's cool is MarketerX is designed in a way that you could truly make it your own and make it the perfect complement to your workflow rather than fighting against it. And here's the part that truly makes it a game changer and a must-have for every marketer. When it comes to marketing, we already know it's not just one asset. It's not just writing an ad or not just writing a sales page or generating a video. It's all one campaign. And with MarketerX, that's what you get. Everything's inside a campaign. Ads, images, landing pages, video scripts, emails, SMS marketing, everything in one unified place. All together, all pulling from one vault. They stop sounding like 4 different companies wrote them. One offer, one mechanism, seamlessly integrated throughout the entire campaign. The MarketerX chief agent already knows what's inside the vault and knows when to pull it. You're not hoping anymore. No more coin flip. And remember editing? With every other tool, you prompt to change. You hope it understands and you go back and forth forever. But watch what happens here. You're looking at the script. You're watching it right now. And I'm going to edit it live while you watch. I highlight the line, I make a prompt, and I watch it go to work, changing and editing the artifact right there. Or at any time, I could always add my own changes directly into the canvas. And boom, now you can see MarketerX is done making the changes and is going to show you exactly what it changed and where. Green is what's being added. Red is what's coming out. And you get to decide. This one you could approve, this one you could deny, this one you could make a comment. Nothing touches the document without your say-so. Every change is pending and I'm in control. And once you hit approve all, now that becomes your finalized version. That's the copy chief's seat. And the draft that we're reviewing has already been scored and approved in the background before I ever even saw it. So here's where we are. MarketerX is in beta, and I'll be straight with you about what that means. Everything I just showed you, the scoring engine, vault, the workflow, that's live today. It's real. It's working, it's in use, and it's generating great outcomes for our current users. And what's coming is going to permanently close that last gap we talked about, connecting every one of your scores to your performance data, not just the ones it's been trained on, so that the system learns what converts for your market, your offer, your business. And it compounds those learnings every time you use it. That's what you're getting ahead of. Right now, if you join MarketerX, you become a founding member. And being a founding member means 2 things. You lock in the price before it goes up, which it will once we connect it to ad performance data. And 2, you get to be the person who watches every other marketer around you eventually wonder how you got so far ahead. And it's because you closed the 3 gaps that all of them are currently experiencing. And whether you're new to AI or you're someone who is like me and you've built the Claude projects or the custom GPTs and you've started to hit one or all of those 3 walls and thought there has to be a better way. Because if you're like me, you maybe have built a system that was pretty good for a week or 2, but you've quickly realized that at scale and over a longer time horizon, these products just weren't built for day-to-day marketing optimization, nor our workflow. And if that's you, check out the many other benefits of becoming a founding member of MarketerX that's listed down here below on this page. You get front row seats on all updates that roll out. You get to be the first to try any new features as we come out with them. And your feedback directly impacts our development roadmap. So if that's you, come build with us. I'll see you on the inside.